Hi everybody, this is Michelle with Scrapbooking with Michelle Sizemore. I'm an independent advisor with Creative Memories, and today I'll show you how to use Creative Memories tools to make this border. This is sort of a quilted look with 1 1/4 inch squares, and I cut those with the Creative Memories trimmer. I'll show you how to do that. And then this is a strip of white cardstock cut with the Border Maker system using the poinsettia cartridge. And this is just a piece of red cardstock. Okay, actually it's cranberry. Alrighty, I'm going to set this aside. First, I'm going to show you how to do the Border Maker system. You plop your cartridge in with your metal pieces sticking out. Open your tray, pop it in place, open the arm, put your cardstock in. You want the cardstock to match up with all the edges of the tray holder. Put your arm down, it is magnetic, and plop your tray back in place underneath. It's going to look like that. Now there are all these grooves on the back of your Border Maker paper holder. They're there for a reason, and that is because these notches fit in them so that this works. So you put your cardstock in the groove right here. I start closest toward me, and my notches need to match up right here. And then when the notches are matched up, everything fits underneath. And then you just punch. I'm going to hold it with my left hand and punch with my right because I'm right-handed. And you want to hold this pretty firm so it doesn't slip on you. And then you punch, and then you just pull it out. Sometimes you get a little edge that you need to pull off. Stick it back in where the notches match up again and punch. We do it again and do it again, and you just keep moving it up. Everything falls into place underneath as your notches fit together, and then you get your whole 12-inch border. And just so you can see that a little better, that's what it looks like. Now, I need to cut with my straight trimmer to cut it off. And I'm going to move this aside. I don't have to be exact in the size that I cut it because a lot of it is going to tuck up underneath a lot of the solid part. So I'm just going to cut it like at about 1.25 inches maybe. I think that's good. Just enough to give me room to put my tape runner on the back. So I have that. And that's what it's going to look like. Then I need to cut my strips of paper to get my little quilted pieces. And these are the papers that I used. These are all from the Seasonal Sightings collection. Actually, there's one more. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. Oh, a solid. Yeah, there's a solid red. It's over here. Okay. So these are all the colors that I used. So to show you how I did that, I'm going to do the poinsettia paper first, and I'm going to cut a strip that's about 1 1/4 inches, 1 1/4 inches wide. That means I'm going to look at the 1 inch mark on here and then go to the 1/4 inch mark. Line it up at the 1/4 inch mark. Make sure it's straight all the way across. And then I'm using my straight blade to cut. So I just cut my strip. It's 1 1/4 inches wide. And I do that with all of these papers to get my strips. And then once I get all my strips, they're going to look like this, similar. Like that. When I get all my strips, then I just flip it. I'm just going to cut about 3 of each color because it looks like there are about 3 of each color on my strip over there. And I'm going to cut it at the 1 1/2 inch mark sideways. So I cut it like this, but then I'm going to flip it sideways. Make sure it's lined up all the way at the top. It's really good to use this arm. Normally your arm comes down like this for your trimmer. You want to pull it out and pop it in place. Make sure this little foot is flipped out because that's what keeps you level. And then I'm going to flip my paper sideways. I really need this lip to keep it straight. And I'm going to measure it at the 1 1/4 inch mark right there. Make sure it's straight all the way at the top. Hold it down and cut. And I'm going to do about 3 of those. I probably don't need all of them, but some of them do 3, so I think I'm just going to cut 3 of those and so on. And I've already cut the other colors just the same exact way. And here they are. If I can scoop them up. So these are almost all my colors, I think. So, okay, I'm going to move these aside. And then I need to cut a skinny piece of white cardstock. It could really be any color. It's going to be covered up. But I'm just going to do white. A little bit less than an inch. Maybe 3/4 of an inch. I just need a skinny piece. Okay? And I'm going to get a piece of cardboard to work on so you can see this a little better. That white paper on my white table doesn't show up too great. Okay, and then I'm just going to put tape runner all the way down this. I'm going to be pretty generous with it. Usually I just do it little dabs, but I'm going to be pretty generous because I need a lot of sticky area. I'm probably doing too much actually, but there we go. Now, all I need to do to get this look is alternate my pieces. I intentionally cut this strip skinnier than these. These were 1.25 inches, and I cut this at about 3/4 of an inch because I just want something to mount this onto, and I want the edges to hang out over it so that you don't see the white at all. So I'm going to start like that. Then I'm going to use this color, and you want to make sure they meet up with each other. You might even overlap it just a tad so the white doesn't show. And you want them to be level on both edges. And then this one is going to be this cranberry color. And just a little trick. So the patterns on these papers, this one goes horizontal and this one goes vertical. I like to alternate them just for interest instead of making them both horizontal side by side. So this horizontal next to a vertical. And then I've got a polka dot. And when you're doing this, I chose patterns that are very subtle. They're not like big flowers or something because they're such little pieces that you need a subtle pattern for it to all show. And I'm going to move that over. It might even help to overlap it just a little so the white doesn't show in between. And you can always go back and add a little bit extra tape runner to it. So that's my 4 colors. So I would just go all the way down with all of my colors like that. And then I would add this piece that I've already cut. So what I would do is on the back of this, just pretend it has squares all the way down. I would add some tape runner. And then I would let as much of the white show as I wish with the flowers. And then I would cut a strip of cranberry cardstock. I'd probably cut it about 1 inch. To be safe, I'm going to cut it 1.5 inches. You could probably go with it less. There we go. And then you're going to mount this. You're going to put tape runner on the back here. And then you're going to mount that on top where just enough of the red peeks out past your flowers to give you this look. It's really easy to do. Super easy and kind of fun. And I'll show you another idea. So this is done similar, but I used more squares and I cut the squares a little bit bigger. I think you could cut them any size you like, but I'm trying to find my ruler. Yeah, here we go. Well, start at the 0. It's a 0 ruler. No, they're like 1 1/4. So these are about 1 1/4 too. They just look a little bigger, but I cut more of them out and made diagonal, used them on the diagonal. So I just flipped them so the points are up and down. Mounted them on a wider piece of white cardstock because this is a wider border. I just wanted more colors. And then I alternated the colors the way I like to get all the colors in. And then I just flipped it over and used my trimmer to cut to get the width I wanted, because you see some of these are cut in half. So I just flipped it over, cut with a straight line after these were all mounted. You had to make sure they were stuck pretty well. And then I got this look and did the same thing. So those are two different looks you can get with squares, and it kind of has a quilted look, which I really like, especially for Christmas. And I will put a link to the website, to my website, in the comments below, in the description below of this YouTube video. And you can always go to my website and see all of our products. You can order straight from there for fast direct ship to your door. And these are our products that we have in 2022. If you're watching this video a year from now, you probably still can't get these products, at least the papers and things, maybe not the punch either, but you can always use this idea and change it up with tools that you have. Thank you for watching. Hope you have a great day.